Today we're going to be discussing the potential of an F1 car event. Now, as you know, we've recently got a NASCAR event where you can get a NASCAR and stuff. Now, obviously, there's nothing confirmed. This is all just, speculation, concepts, and ideas. But before we discuss this, make sure to subscribe and drop a like in this video. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, now, as you know, of course, the NASCAR event basically added this NASCAR, these challenges, and then, some rewards and stuff like liveries. Now, here is my thought on how an F1 car event could work. So, let's say they hypothetically could afford F1 licensing, which we'll go over why that might be a challenge in a bit. But let's say they hypothetically did get F1 licensing, and they have an event. What could we expect? So, we could probably expect, some cash prizes just like that. And then, instead of liveries, I feel like it would be the different brands of F1. For example, McLaren's one. What other F1 brands are there? Honestly, I don't know much more than McLaren and Ferrari. No, Red Bull, of course. How could I forget? Max Verstappen, of course. With Red Bull. But what about, there's one issue I see with Ferrari, bro. I don't think Ferrari likes the idea of being in Driving Empire too much, so that would already be kind of a challenge, to get Ferrari F1 cars in the game. But there's other F1 brands, so I wouldn't be too concerned. Alright, I've just remembered a few more brands. There's Mercedes, there's Williams Racing, and then I'll pop up the rest on screen. There's a few other brands that I forgot about. But what about the tracks? For the NASCAR event, we got the Daytona International Speedway, which is a really, really cool race that they added here. You can see, it's a permanent race of the Daytona Speedway. Well, I actually have an idea for what they could do for F1. Alright, now my idea for F1 is that they replace the circuit race, which is right over there, with some kind of F1 track. But there's multiple F1 tracks. With the Daytona Speedway, I feel like all, NASCAR speedways would probably be the same, just giant ovals. Maybe something in the middle is different or something. But for F1, the tracks are very different. So, of course, they could have, one F1 track here on this part of the map. But then on, the complete opposite side of the map, somewhere else, they could have another F1 track. I don't know, where it could be, but probably, there's probably another spot all the way over there that they could put it down at. And then I'm sure, there's, islands we could teleport to, maybe. They could do something like that, like how we have the Sandy Shores race on an island. I'm sure they could, do, F1 races on islands, to have other F1 races. So something like that could be really, really cool to have, different types of F1 races in the game if they got an F1 event. Alright, now there's one thing I didn't mention that is a very crucial thing, and probably the reason why Driving Empire won't end up getting an F1 event for a very long time, or ever potentially, and that is F1 is all about expensive. Now, when I mean expensive, I mean expensive. Just look at their sponsors. Rolex, that's one, for example. Those things are very expensive. F1 cars themselves, very, very expensive. Everything about F1 is all about being expensive, I feel like, and a very rich lifestyle. And unfortunately, that probably means licensing for an F1 event would be expensive. So, I don't think Driving Empire will be able to get an F1 event, or at least a licensed F1 event for a very long time, because the licenses will probably be way too much money compared to, NASCAR licenses or something like that, for example. And another thing you have to think about is, they also probably wouldn't be able to get too many brands to agree to it. Like NASCAR, for example, we only got one NASCAR, and that's the Chevy. With the F1 licenses, it would probably be like McLaren, and that's it or something, because we got McLaren licensed in the game right now. But Ferrari, 99% chance that would not be in the F1 event if they had an F1 event. I doubt that Ferrari would want their car in the game. So, basically, what I'm getting at here is an F1 event would be really, really cool, but really, really unpractical, and I don't think that it's gonna happen. But it still is worth hoping for. But there you have it. That's everything for today's video. I truly hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a like. I would truly appreciate it. Subscribe to the notification bell so you never miss another upload. Check out the video on screen here on YouTube. Thanks if you like it, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.